What a busy day for metal. We have to talk about a new Slayer song entitled Repentless. This is the title track off of their new album, which comes out on September the 11th, oh noes, of 2015. This is one where I will link you in the description box with the website where this comes from. It's from a video in which they posted, I believe, here on YouTube. That also comes with a visualizer, as they call it. But the article itself has a couple of other interesting photographs to go along with it, including a lyric list for this song. And that's actually one of the things that we're going to talk about whenever it comes to this track. This is a song that has been regarded as a Hammond anthem. This is almost like a Jeff Hammond tribute song. That's something that the band has attributed to it. And it's definitely one that has that classic air feel. This is probably one of the quicker and more solid Slayer songs that you're going to hear over the course of the past couple of years, past couple of albums. This one definitely has that old school luster to it. That definitely has that speed metal meets a little bit of that punk aggression. And it definitely has a guitar solo that is going to be talked about by some individuals. There's a bit of a dueling element to this one near the end point. But I want to, before I speak about that, talk about this lyricism. And there are some individuals where this lyricism will be bothersome because it seems very negative. It seems like it's a lot of an overuse of a couple of four-letter words. Well, who gives a fuck, personally? But this is something where it is almost like reading into somebody else's journalistic thoughts toward another individual, almost as though they are speaking directly about Jeff Hammond himself and his thoughts on the world and generalized society, with additional commentary to go along with it. And I think that that's a pretty cool way to tribute him, if that's indeed the purpose that they were going for with the lyricism on this song. If that's what Tom was aiming for, along with the rest of the band, then I think that they did a lot of good justice, because it sort of showcases not only the no-nonsense attitude that Slayer really represented musically, but also represents Jeff very much individually as being somebody who is very, very interesting, to say the least. I'm surprised there was no references to World War II in this, which would have really fit Jeff to the T, or any sort of warfare, to be precise. Musically speaking, this is probably one of the tighter songs that you're going to hear. Again, I'm going to have to go back to the vocals on this because of the strange pattern that this takes, especially near the ending portion of the repetition of some lines from the very first verse that you hear at about the 2:30 mark or so. This is something where it almost seems as though these lyrics were sort of seemed to be perfect for this track initially, and then whenever it came to actually representing them with that speed, it was something where Tom had to kind of do some unique things vocally in order to get all of the thoughts and all of the meters in, and the result actually can be a bit disjointing. It can seem like there is a little bit of imperfection there, but that's actually by design. It's just something, though, that from a sonic perspective does tend to throw off the flow of it a little bit, and this is coming right after an extremely aggressive and extremely tight dueling guitar solo, which is actually pretty awesome. It's something that I really feel that Slayer has been in need of for some time. They've certainly been able to incorporate stuff like that in the past, but they have not been able to couple it with a song that has this sort of speed, aggressiveness, and real nod to where they came from, which is something that I really feel that a lot of elder Slayer fans have been clamoring for a long time. It's something where the speed that they have gotten with some of the melody that's been incorporated within has not been everything to satisfy them. They wanted to hear a little bit of a remnant of albums such as Show No Mercy and South of Heaven, and I feel this song, even though it's better produced, even though it doesn't have that real absolute chaos feel to it, I think this is the best representation that you're getting of that kind of idea in quite some time from this band. Really, really good song. Definitely very solid. I recommend you check it out in the link below. I'm getting very excited for Repentless, because if they had this writing philosophy going into this track, it could easily become infectious, and we could actually have a nice thrash album on our hands. Slayer could be making a really large wave with this disc. Yes, I know that there was a new Symphony Act song that premiered today. Unfortunately, I'm not going to get the opportunity to do that in video form, as I am now going to be leaving for the remainder of the day, but I do recommend that you check that out as well. And actually, as a bonus, I'm going to include a link to that as well in the description box below. That way you guys can check that one out too. There you have it. What do you guys think about this song? What do you think about Repentless from Slayer coming off of their upcoming album coming out on 9/11 entitled also Repentless? Let me know, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Oh, by the way, stick around later on this evening, unless you're viewing this in the future, because we're going to be talking about the new High on Fire album entitled Luminiferous. So you're definitely going to want to be here for that, because it's a great album. All right, later.